My name's Joel Roman, and this is my wife, Becky Roman. We have some kids that attend here at Joe's.
We have Faith, who's 13. Audra is, 11. Thank you. Gabby's 10. Hudson is 7. Poppy is 5, and Brooks is 3. And Poppy, Hudson, and Brooks attend therapy at Joe's Kids. Right after Faith was born, Joel said, how many kids do you, asked him, I said, how many kids do you want? And he says, I don't know, 12? And I was like, I was thinking 1 would be just fine. So we just kind of, I just prayed. I was like, well, okay, well, whoever's heart needs to change. So we know whose heart changed. After Audra was born, we lost a baby and it ended up limiting our fertility. And so we were able to still have Gabby, but we decided that maybe now was a good time to try to do what we had always dreamed of doing, which would be to adopt. Hudson is 7 now. He has what is called Hunter syndrome. So since he was diagnosed before he was born, he was able to right away as a newborn get enzyme replacement therapy. It doesn't fully replace, and it doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So it's really good, and it's been really good for Hudson, but it's incomplete. I think his biggest challenges are is cognitively, and that kind of manifests more for him in just how he learns, behaviors. He gets angry very, very easily. He doesn't process emotions very well. So then there's Poppy, and Poppy has a different form of MPS than Hudson has. Hudson has MPS 2. She has MPS 7. Because it's a different enzyme, it manifests a little bit differently in her. She's little. She's short for her age. She's 5 years old, but she doesn't have any cognitive delay. I think any cognitive delay is just catching up from, all of the trauma she had early on in life. She's got the personality that, she's just gonna push through. She's got a very strong, exciting personality.
We've got Brooks, who we had identified him before he was born. We knew that he had a brain disorder, schizencephaly.
Which schizencephaly means that his 2 parts of his brain aren't talking to each other.
We learned very quickly that he also had Down syndrome, which was somewhat of a surprise. We weren't expecting that. When it came to his schizencephaly, it's a rare disorder, so it's not something that's going to be an easy track per se for him. But not sure exactly how that would manifest with his needs for therapies or any other treatments that may come along.
We lived in the Indianapolis area for about 10 years or so. As we started to research what was available up here, I was a little overwhelmed because, it looked like we were going to have to go to Fort Wayne. I think logistically, with especially homeschooling everybody, we need to have some time at home. And if we were, currently we go to Joe's Kids 3 times a week. So if we were going to Goshen or Fort Wayne 3 times a week, we'd either be completely drained or we just would have to call it quits and, not do as much. And I was just so relieved to have something closer to home. And it really allowed us, I think, to get more frequency and to have them, get all the therapies that they needed. As we were trying to figure out what insurance was going to pay and what insurance wasn't going to pay, people at Joe's Kids were just so good at just like, okay, this is, they knew exactly, there's so much ambiguousness when it comes to medical billing, and it's like a whole different part-time job. And just to have somebody to know and say, this is what is going to be covered, this is what's not going to be covered, and then be able to point us to ways to be able to make that work for us. I think a highlight for me was when the first time that I saw Brooks walking in the gate trainer. I did cry, because I think it was the first time that I saw him do something that was age appropriate that I didn't think was going to happen this soon. He was just, it was a wake-up call for me that there's so much there that he understands, and that he and if we just found him the right tools. And I've just that was a highlight for me.
When it comes to looking at your children and finding that they need to get these services, and if they're going to continue on with any amount of progress, you need to be able to invest in that. You start seeing very quickly that there is so much that is being gained from this investment. There's so much coming out from your children that otherwise likely would not be there, or would be a struggle to come out of them.
I want them to know that they're loved, that we're gonna, no matter what, we're gonna be there, that we're gonna support them. I want them to feel like they had their best life possible.